Yeah, he's like a Jehovah's Witness for racism. Bro is door dashing slurs. Like, dude, this is crazy. I've never seen such a thing. That's how bad Keir Starmer is. That like Keir Starmer is so bad that like it causes British people to forget how bad Rishi Sunak is. Okay.
Keir Starmer is presiding over a coup. And what comes after a coup? Dictatorship. Starmer is the most dishonest mainstream politician of my lifetime. I've not come across anyone who can so barefaced tell lies so regularly. He lied his way to the Labour leadership. He lied his way through the Labour leadership. And when he becomes Prime Minister, he'll lie his way through his Prime Ministership as well. If Corbyn was doing what he did, you'd have every single one of his lies on the front page leading the BBC News. But they want to protect Starmer because Starmer serves their interests. We all know that Boris Johnson is an unscrupulous liar and the damage that that can do for politics and democracy. But you're probably about to elect someone who is just as bad. He had 10 pledges that he got elected on, which he's reneged on every single one. And he's going to do the same thing in the campaign to get elected. He's going to give you a whole load of policies that he's not going to do in power. And we need some scrutiny of this because he's the likely next Prime Minister. So we need scrutiny of him now. We don't need it later. We don't need to brush it under the carpet because we want to get Labour in and the Tories out. Because unless he's held to account, he'll carry on taking everyone for a ride. Aren't you concerned about rule of law, justice and fairness? Look at what they have done to Jeremy Corbyn. This is a man who has represented his constituency for nearly 40 years and they've tried to destroy him in the most obscene way. Those kind of people, those kind of bullies, those kind of sadists and those kind of immoral people should be nowhere near power. Corbyn was accused of being a Stalinist and purging his opponents. The real Stalinist is Keir Starmer. He's purged the former leader that he took over, that he supported and tried to make Prime Minister. He's purged him from the party and said he can't stand even as a Labour MP. He's sacked shadow ministers for attending picket lines. He's sacked shadow ministers for tweeting links to interviews in The Independent.
The reference to Stalinist is really funny because I need you to understand something. Tanky, the terminology that you hear from like the most annoying liberals all the goddamn time for like advocating for things such as like healthcare or whatever, or just demanding that America doesn't murder every brown child on the planet, makes you a tanky, right? That terminology comes from British socialists, British socialism. That is where it is literally originally a British term. English socialism is like, I'll just say it's very interesting.
Proportionately purged Jewish members. The establishment media don't cover this because the targets of Starmer so far have been the left. But people with his mentality don't stop there. That mentality carries on to everyone eventually if they oppose him. This is an authoritarian leader who does not tolerate dissent. And that does not only go for members who don't support his leadership, that goes for free speech on the major issues of our day. No normal political party would do that. I don't even think the Tories would do that. What Starmer mounted in the Labour Party from 2020 onwards is a coup. And what Starmer is overseeing in Labour is a dictatorship. When you look at Keir Starmer's record, you understand that he's deeply embedded in the power networks within Britain, but also within America. He was a member of the Trilateral Commission, a group which was set up by the billionaire banker David Rockefeller in 1973. It was based on the idea that Europe, America, and Japan needed to get together to strategize about how to continue the hegemony of the West. The membership has included people from Henry Kissinger to top industrialists, all the sort of elite 1%, and it has produced a lot of US presidents and other politicians around the world. The Trilateral Commission is part of a wider resume that Starmer has, which shows that he is willing at all times to do the establishment's dirty work. His time at the CPS from 2008 to 2013 is quite shocking when you look into it. One facet of that is the Julian Assange case, which was highly irregular what the CPS was up to. They were working with the Swedes to try and get Julian Assange extradited to Sweden. Perhaps more alarmingly, the CPS destroyed huge amounts of emails discussing the Assange case. That period covers mostly when Starmer was head of the CPS, so there's a cover-up going on, clearly. His record at the CPS goes on.
He refused to prosecute the police who killed Ian Tomlinson and John Charles de Menezes.
He wanted to crack down on benefits claimants. He wanted high sentences for people who stole bottles of water during the riots in 2011. At all points in his recent career, he is concerned with power, getting it, maintaining it, and destroying anyone who is a threat to that power, which for me is a very, very worrying thing, because he will likely be the next Prime Minister of Britain. And when you have an amoral individual who is willing to do anything to gain and maintain power, it is quite a scary situation. Starmer is a massive threat to any kind of functioning democracy. Corbyn symbolised a huge outbreak of democracy in Britain. Soon after 2015, when he was elected, Labour became the largest political party in Western Europe with 600,000 members. That terrifies the establishment because they hate nothing more than democracy. And Starmer's role is to put that democracy back in a box. He's gone to war.
This is absolutely, I'm saying, is another certified double down news banger. Okay? The shit that went on in British Labour is so insane. I'm sure there will be documentaries in, I mean, unless we're like full tilt fascists by that point, but I'm sure there'll be documentaries on it as far as like false accusations of anti-Semitism, real instances of anti-Semitism specifically planted inside of the party, a constant sea of criticism coming in the direction of Corbyn and the Labour Party, making literally like, I think they created an unimaginable amount of hysteria amongst like especially the older Jewish population in the UK. Like they went nutty with it. I mean, Labor Files by Al Jazeera is a good documentary. I meant like Netflix style documentary. I think we watched pieces of Labor Files on the stream before. I'm pretty sure. I think the biggest problem for Corbyn was that he was a little bit too much of a pussy on Brexit, and he just did not. He was stuck between a rock and a hard place. You should listen to Owen Jones. On Jeremy Corbyn, no thank you. On Israel-Palestine, sure. But like you... Okay, we're back. Refresh. We're back. Owen Jones destroyed me. Owen Jones heard me talking shit and was like, it's over for you, mate. It's over. It's over for you, Hasanabi. You're done. You're done. Anyway, yeah, Owen Jones was, in my opinion, leaning a little bit too much when he was at The Guardian, leaning a little bit too much into the Corbyn as an anti-Semite shit. Anyway, Owen Jones, a lot of people in the Parliamentary Labour Party are horrible. Owen Jones was born in Sheffield, raised in Stockport. This land is written from the point of view of an observer and a participant. Did you write it essentially as an attempt to make sense of the scale of Corbyn's election defeat? Are we watching debate together? Yes. Anyway, ultimately, listen. Owen Jones is fine. And especially his like latest stuff on Israel Palestine is pretty good. And you know, and Corbyn bent over backwards trying to investigate it, and it turned out it was just the Israeli intelligence op to discredit him. No leftist politician learned that lesson, that centrist Labour Party leaders are the exact same as conservative Dems. They would sabotage the party if a progressive ever took the lead. Yeah, straight up. Anyway, do you see Sunak try to attack David Tennant for telling a transphobe to shut the fuck up because said transphobe is a woman? What? Anyway, yeah, Corbyn should have actually done a Stalinist purge. Like, it would have been absolutely valid for him to do so. And I wish he had. And he was too soft, man. He really was. And so is Bernie. I love him. I love him, especially Corbyn. You will never make me hate you. Okay, Jezza, you are my goat forever. I love you. You are the king. Like, England could have had something so beautiful, so great. But having said that, he was absolutely, utterly too soft. He was too soft on Brexit, which was already like a really shitty situation for him because you had like leftist Brexiteers in the ranks. And beyond that, the party had been beefed up by the classic labor / leftist / socialist / communist party. Always has the same issue. You have the students and the London, the educated London class of like student voters, and then you have like the long-term hardliners, like long-term hardline labor voters, And some of the long-term hardline labor voters were very much pro-Brexit, and a lot of the students were obviously anti-Brexit. And I myself have said this before. I was anti-Brexit, and I think that it was not the smart thing to do for England. And I get it. Like, I understand that the European Union is a neoliberal institution, but ultimately, like, England was not being harmed by this European neoliberalism. They were doing it to themselves anyway. But anyway, ultimately, what ended up happening was that he was ousted with a basic coup internally, and he had a soft position on Brexit. He was like wishy-washy on it at a time when people wanted answers, and he flubbed it a little bit.
Membership has gone right down, and he's welcomed in oligarchs with big money. Starmer's also gone to war with working people. Has a Labour leader ever sacked one of their shadow ministers or ministers for attending a picket line for workers fighting for better wages and better conditions? I don't think so. But that is the sorry state of the Labour Party now. It's not a Labour Party, it's a misnomer. It's a Tory party with a red rosette. The Labour Party now is a truly Orwellian party. You have a former leader who was one of the most prominent opposers of a criminal war in 2003 against Iraq, which destroyed a country of 30 million people. He's not allowed to stand in the constituency he's represented for nearly 40 years. Whereas Tony Blair is welcome in the party, not only welcome, but promoted and close to its current leader, Keir Starmer. We do need to get the Tories out, but...
Ew, Tony Blair with the long hair? I'd never seen that before. That shit is gross. He somehow got grosser, bro. What the f?
We need a bigger imagination. We can't live the rest of our lives voting for the lesser of two evils. And in fact, in the case of Starmer, I don't know how much of a lesser evil he is than Sunak. We need to have a program which is long-term and seeks to transform the political system away from the situation it is now, which is an oligarchy, into a genuine democracy. What we have now is a pantomime. We need the real thing. Jeremy Corbyn is one of the most cancelled figures in Britain. Where are all the free speech warriors to support Corbyn? I don't see them. A lot of cancel culture rhetoric is a distraction, which is actually conducive.
Yup, that's another preach, dude. Absolutely. Yeah, all those cancel culture warriors literally participated in the cancellation of Jeremy Corbyn too.
To the establishment. When it comes to Jeremy Corbyn and the attack,
right-wing reactionary cancel culture warriors turn into the biggest shit libs the moment Israel gets brought up, universally, okay? Literally. And if they don't, and if they're like unironic cancel culture warriors in general, and they don't turn into that, they're usually just like straight up Nazis, okay? In terms of like the largest cancel culture advocates, like the anti-cancel culture advocates like Barry Weiss, okay? Ben Shapiro. All of the right-wing reactionary conservatives that claim to hate, they absolutely claim to hate cancel culture, will turn into the #1 cancellation station, okay? Toxic gossip train ass bullshit.
on him and the cancellation of Corbyn, these people are silent because Corbyn is a genuine threat to the establishment. They didn't go up.
Oh yeah, here's the other part too. Labor can't even get the basics right. This video predates that thing that you're mentioning. Labor can't even get the basics right. Like it's in their name. The party was literally founded by trade unions, the electoral wing of the trade unionists and the Democratic Socialist Movement. Yet Starmer forbade front bench MPs from attending the RMT picket lines. Self-proclaimed lifelong trade unionist, by the way. Yeah, it's just like it's so fucked up.
After him because of who he is. They went after him because they want to get to you, because he represented your interests and the British public's interests. This is not a war on Jeremy Corbyn.
Yeah, meanwhile, Bernie Sanders flew up to link up with our boy, our big, beautiful, bald boy, Mick Lynch, to back the rail strikes. Keir Starmer, on the other hand, no shot. Fuck Keir Starmer. I hate him so much, dude. He's so dog. He just sucks.
He's a proxy. The war's on you. The war's on your ability to see.
And for the record, he's absolutely dog shit. And the only way he's going to be a lock is because of 14 years of Tory-backed austerity. That's it. Like, British people recognize, they keep going back to it, by the way, because last time it was 9 years of Tory austerity needs to be put an end to. And what happened then? Motherfuckers still voted for him. So, like, ultimately, Keir Starmer, regardless of his incompetence, is basically getting gift wrapped, the greatest gift of all time, okay? Man, can you explain why you hate Starmer or barely know about UK politics? Bro, this entire video is describing that. Like, you should be learning about the top of the hour ad break. That's what you should be worried about, okay? You barely know about that. As a recently subscribed chatter with a raging wolf helm. Let me tell you something. Oh, you were trying to bait me, weren't you? You little ass. Okay. No, I wasn't. Okay. Mick Lynch is a fraud. I love that you said the left is so divided in the UK and then said Mick Lynch is a fraud. He wants people to vote Labour. Yeah, dude, it's like saying Sean Fain is a fraud. He wants people to vote Democrat. Get the fuck out of here, dude. These guys are like the real leaders. What are we talking about? That's so dumb. It's the Spider-Man pointing meme right here. Anyway, here's the 3-minute ad break now.
Be a doctor when you need one. It's on your kids' ability to go to a well-funded school. It's on your ability to have a government which promotes.
As you said, Corbyn lost the election based on his soft approach to Brexit. The absolute organized takedown of his character by the media was abhorrent, and it still continues to this day in the UK. Yeah, no. His soft stance on Brexit didn't help, but ultimately it was the character assassination. Not because the character assassination made him look bad, but the character assassination also basically became the only thing that he could ever address. There was not a single moment where they would ask Jeremy Corbyn about his policies, about his beliefs, about what he should do, what he wants to do. They only kept going, what do you say to you being a relentless Jew hater? What do you say to people claiming that you're the next Adolf Hitler? Like, that's every interview, dude. Every interview is just him being like, I do not hate Jewish people. I am not an anti-Semite. I love my Jewish brothers and sisters. Like, he would go to like Seder and shit, and people would be like, see, he's faking it. Meanwhile, there are, literal emails for Labour higher-ups wanting Corbyn to lose. Like, they wanted to tank him. They wanted to gum up the works. There was an open and active conspiracy, and not like a conspiracy theory, like an actual conspiracy unearthed in WhatsApp messages that like internal Labour Party structure genuinely was trying to tank the Labour Party, trying to get them to lose. And then they did. And then they were like, yeah, fuck off. They ousted Corbyn. They ousted any of the real leftists in the party remaining. And then they turned around and basically restructured the party as like, lighter version of the Tories. And in some instances, even outflanking the Tories on immigration and shit, trying to outflank them.
Peace and justice in the world, not war. It's on your ability to have a government which does not sell arms to an extremist dictatorship in Saudi Arabia or an apartheid regime in Tel Aviv. The public should care about what's been done to Jeremy Corbyn because it goes to the heart of the system that we live in. If they can destroy someone who is genuinely representing the people's interests, it doesn't leave us with anything that looks like democracy. It leaves us with what's called a low-intensity democracy or a managed democracy, where every 4 or 5 years we come out and vote for a faction of the same pro-business, pro-war party. And anytime someone comes along who might disrupt that cozy, bipartisan, pro-war, pro-corporate political system, they destroy them. The truth about why the British establishment had to destroy Jeremy Corbyn is a sick, rapacious system could not tolerate a decent human being promoting peace and justice near its apex. It needed to destroy him in 2019, but it needs to destroy him now because Corbyn has power outside of Parliament.
If people loved Corbyn so much, Corbyn fucked it all up himself. Maybe learn more about Starmer. Yes, my son, embrace the dark side. You ain't helping, bro. Maybe learn more about Starmer first. Corbyn fucked it up himself. That's the truth. A good leader would have overcome it. Corbyn is just a weak baby. If people loved Corbyn so much he'd have a comeback, he's a nobody. Bro, please tell me you're trying to bait me right now at the top of the hour, even though I did serve the 3-minute ad break, and you're not like an unironic, like this much of an unironic hater of one of the best Western politicians, if not the best. I'm the first to recognize Corbyn's failures in leadership, but this notion that he sucks is ridiculous. Or he's unpopular is ridiculous. Every time there's a dumbass opinion in the chat, even if it's bait, even if it's real, there's gonna be a bunch of dumb bitches going, exactly, he ain't wrong. Every time. Someone could be like, Adolf Hitler was misunderstood, and there'd be some dumb bitches chirping in here being like, yeah, hold up, let him cook. He ain't wrong though. I swear to God. I swear to God, dude. You guys are so stupid.
He has a massive constituency in the British public, and what they want to do now is destroy any example that he may leave for the next generation who want to bring about transformative change in Britain. They need to lock that idea off completely, and we can't.
Yeah, classic Keir Starmer moment. Israel does have that right. Keir Starmer, after being asked if Israel can cut off food and water to civilians, which he then followed through by saying, I never said that, which is so funny because he was on camera. It was a televised interview where he did say that, and everyone saw it.
Let them. I think Starmer will win the next election in 2024, but things will get very interesting soon after. Britain is in a desperate situation. People are suffering hugely with inflation, the cost of living crisis. Young people are crying out for answers to the big questions that they've got about housing, about university, about work, and they're not getting any answers in the mainstream. And by excluding Jeremy Corbyn from the political process in Britain, you're excluding the one person who offered some tangible answers to these big questions that young people have. Keir Starmer knows he has no answers. He knows that he has to destroy his opposition because they are giving the answers that people really need to the problems we face. Those answers aren't going away. They're still out there with trade union movements, with extra parliamentary movements, and they can be channeled into new vehicles which can make progressive and transformative change in Britain. I don't think this is the end for Jeremy Corbyn because what he sparked is still there. People saw hope and they saw the possibility of transformative change for the first time in many of our lives. That kind of sense does not die away quickly. It's a Pandora's box, and that's why the establishment is trying so hard to destroy.
Even if you want to act like Starmer is dog shit in foreign policy, but will be good for local politics, is completely delusional. Starmer literally wants to privatize everything. I do not think that Keir Starmer is going to put an end to the Tory austerity measures. I don't think so. He has openly stated he has no desires to raise taxes. He has openly stated that he will also continue privatization. He is not like, it's really, really up.
Because they want to put the outbreak of democracy, the outbreak of hope back in a box. When Starmer is likely elected in 2024, the realization that he's barely distinguishable from the Tories will make Jeremy Corbyn one of the most relevant political figures in the country again.
Would you quit streaming if it somehow made Bernie the nominee in November? Yes, because he would make me his press secretary. So I'd have to quit streaming. About an hour ago, the NatSec cabinet approved the package proposed by Smotrich that includes 1. Legalization of the 5 radical illegal outposts, 2. Construction of 5,000 housing units in the settlements, 3. Broad sanctions on PA officials, including prevention of leaving the country, enforcing incitement, and more, and 4. Demolition orders for Palestinian houses in Area B. This decision doesn't give broad authority to do so, as far as I understand, but it's a massive precedent. Good stuff.
Nothing scares the establishment more than losing control of the narrative. And in Britain, they are losing control of the narrative because of the burgeoning independent media sector. So we need to grow it as much as we can and support those doing independent media and doing independent journalism. Support Double Down News on Patreon and go to the Classified UK.
All right, so here's the other side of the shitty dark coin.
We've gone
the
undercover.
shit coin, the reform campaign. Here's Channel 4 News doing investigative reporting undercover inside the Reforms campaign. Evidence of homophobia and canvassers' racism. Reform is, of course, Nigel Farage, who is seemingly a vile cretin that just will not go away. Let's take a look.
Side Nigel Farage's Reform UK campaign in Clacton, and we recorded extremely offensive language, including this canvasser saying people seeking asylum should be shot.
Get the young recruits there, yeah, with guns on the beach, target practice, to shoot them.
Racist language was repeatedly used. Here, direct.
Like, with what guns, bitch? Shut the up. I hate when a British politician tries to act like an American with that accent. It's not working, bro. What do you mean? Yeah, we're gonna give him blunderbusses, yeah? We're giving him old blunderbusses. They're gonna have the doohickey. That's right, innit? We're shouting asylum seekers. What, a baby gun?
Directed at the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak.
We got it. What's good is he?
And homophobia from Farage's inner circle.
You see that degenerate flag on the front bonnet? What the old Bill doing promoting that crap?
My object is for us to become the voice of opposition.
He's promised a political revolution.
Labour is pulling the candidate for Farage's constituency because the Labour candidate was too popular and black, distracting from Starmer's campaign. Jawan was told by an official to never come back to Clacton, and yesterday was instructed to move to the West Midlands region. Labour ordered its Clacton candidate to go into exile because he was making Starmer's team jealous. I love that. And this is the Blue Anon. I guess this is the Blue Anon version, shitting on Owen Jones. It's like, oh, Owen, have a day off. Oh, That's so funny, bro. This is literally, yeah. This is, oh God, I'm seeing too many parallels. Too many parallels, dude.
Nigel Farage claims to speak for the forgotten many, the self-styled leader of the People's Army.
They've opened up the borders to mass immigration like we've never seen before.
This is the image Reform UK wants to portray, and yet some of the party's candidates have been accused of racism and extremism. It's often dismissed as banter, but how does the party really operate? Media access is carefully controlled, so we've been undercover to find out.
Hello. Hiya. How are we doing? All right.
Good luck. I'm fine.
This is what we found when we joined his troops inside Farage's Clacton campaign.
If you've got a razor, feel free to grab a razor. Once you're ready and you're happy, just set off on your adventures.
Why am I blocked by this person? Why am I blocked by this person? Proud mom, ex-journalist, record collector, every Saturday at 10 a.m. playing soul on vinyl only. Labor candidate for Clacton, Joanne Owusu, Nepal, is too popular, so he's been frog marched to the West Midlands as Labor have surrendered. A source said Labor HQ vex Joanne is getting more retweets on Twitter than Keir Starmer, and he was distracted from Starmer's campaign. Oh, dude, he's hot too? Oh, that's crazy. He's young, he's fit, he's a fit bird. He's a proper fit birdies.
Go out leafleting. We meet Andrew Parker, who describes himself as a property dealer.
Yeah, I've got a car, BMW, brilliant. Let's go. What's your name, fella? Andy. Andy.
Mr. Parker tells our investigator he's
What's your
known
name, fella?
Farage for years.
Yeah, I met him in a restaurant in London. Yeah. I said, we get, because we're quite a laugh with him. Yeah. Do us a favour, get your arse out and put yourself up for candidate. He's rung me a couple of times, I've texted him, so he's getting on.
We're assigned to go out canvassing with Mr. Parker.
You can move the seat forward if you want.
In the car, there's a pep talk about what to say on the doorstep.
The immigration thing, use the word illegal, emphasise illegal, especially if you open the door to a bunch of
The Reform canvasser then gives his view on Muslims and what the party would do with mosques.
He said the P word, lad.
Sick, mate, sick mother. It's a cult. I tell you what, if you don't know about Islam, it's the most disgusting cult out. We're kicking all the Muslims out of the mosques and then turn them into Witherspoons.
As well as his opinion on the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak.
Yeah. I've always been a Tory voter. What annoys me is we got it. What's good?
Oh, he called him the P word. He called Rishi Sunak the P word. Oh, what good is he?
You tell me, you know, he's just wet. What, Sunak? Useless.
4 miles from the town centre, we go door knocking on a mobile home park. Reform sees the mainly...
You have to explain the P word. Half of chat is lost. Yes, the P word is Pakistani shortened, okay? The first 4 letters of Pakistani. It is not like known as a slur in the United States of America for the most part, but it is what British people call every brown person. It's a slur, for the record. It is like an extremely racist slur.
The elderly people who live here as target voters. Mr. Parker introduces himself as representing Nigel Farage's party.
That's quick. Hello there. Reform Party. Yes. Would you be interested?
He explains party policy on topics including the NHS and climate change.
What's that climate?
Does it have the same energy as saying Mex or Mexi? What the f does that mean? No. No, it is like a straight up... What? That's not even a thing. Is that even a thing? No, it's a big slur, okay? I've never heard that before. Mexi? No, it's like, it's not the same as saying the N-word, but it's like close enough. Like in the UK, in the way that it is deployed, in the way that it is received, it's basically like, it's up there.
Well, that's like complete shit. If you go back something like 10,000 years, and Scotland was hotter than Spain.
And wearing his blue and white Reform rosette, he gives his views.
Yeah, it's like saying the S word, I think. But Yeah, it's like saying the S word, which is Spock, but with an I, for those of you who don't know, which is like a shortened version of Hispanic, I guess. But it is like even worse than that, kind of. I don't even know how to, or the B word when it comes to Latinos, which is bean, but with an ER. I know I have to explain these slurs to people because like some people don't even think about it. Anyway.
On how to stop the boats.
You've got D11 here, and a place near Dover, army recruitment. Get the young recruits there, yeah, with guns on the beach, target practice, just shoot them. That's what the Greeks done. You know about that, you know, the Greeks shot us. Look at the Australians. They wanted none of it. I just think ring fence Bradford-Starn round and just do that. Yeah, you've got these bastards running our country. You must be joking, mate. Keep flying that flag. So the reason I'm going to reform is because the situation is that Rishi Sunak ain't worth pissing on, to be honest.
Mr Parker urges this undecided voter, who says he's a paramedic, to help get Nigel Farage elected. And he offers this advice for treating migrants in his ambulance.
And do us a favour.
Now that guy's a reform voter right there.
And not getting your ambulance, just don't put oxygen on the bar, so use something else. You know where I'm coming.
Bro, this dude is like, he's just going door to door being a racist homophobe. It's kind of awesome. Like, I've never seen, like, right-wing Republicans don't campaign like this in America. This is like unimaginable shit. This guy's literally just going door to door, door knocking to be like, what's your favorite slur? Yeah, say it and I'll drop mine. Yeah, he's like a Jehovah Witness for racism. Welcome back, Hitler. I've never seen this. Bro is door dashing slurs. Like, it's awesome. This is funny as dude. This is crazy. I've never seen such a thing. Like I've done door knocking before. I just never, the thought never entered my mind. If my slur is better than yours, you need to give me a couple pound in it. Just a couple quid, yeah? You know, like, what are you guys reforming? The attitudes, the cultural attitudes towards not being able to do hate speech. That's what I'm reforming.
From? That's a yes. Yeah.
No, we're all okay, all mate, all right?
Yeah, okay, no worries. Thank you. That's the trouble with brain dead people.
In a statement, Andrew
He's
Parker...
like, yeah, they're brain dead. They don't like my favorite slurs, yeah? Yeah, he just leaves a little racist card on the door that just says the N-word. And you immediately know a reform candidate has been through the neighborhood. What is dude, this is crazy. This is actually crazy. What the what is this? What is happening? Is this their campaign strategy? Like, I know Nigel Farage is like incredibly racist, right? We know. We've seen how he operates on mainstream media, on television, okay? But like, I didn't realize they were literally localizing the racism. Like, they're bringing it to your doorstep.
told us, I'd like to make clear neither Nigel Farage personally nor the Reform Party were aware of my personal views on immigration. I therefore would like to apologize.
Yeah, and when they found out, they loved it. Yeah, when they found out, they decided. I love that he's claiming this. Like, yeah, totally, dude. As though this is not the Reform Party's genuine position for the most part. After all, if it wasn't, then there would be no need for a Reform Party. You'd just be a Tory.
Apologize to them if my personal views have reflected badly on them. And
wait, is he not going to apologize to all of the like Pakistani and Indian, like the entirety of the Southeast Asian? Nope. Of course not. I'll dial it back a little bit, yeah.
Brought them into disrepute.
Slur dash.
Farage has chosen to stand here in the seaside resort of Clacton in Essex. His campaign is being run from 2 rooms above this amusement arcade. He's betting he'll be 8th time lucky, finally being elected to Parliament.
8th time lucky, finally being elected to Parliament. 8th time lucky, finally being elected to Parliament. 8th time lucky, finally being elected to Parliament. 8th time lucky, finally being elected to Parliament. 8th time lucky, finally being elected to Parliament. 8th time lucky, finally being elected to Parliament. 8th time lucky, finally being elected to Parliament. 8th time lucky, finally being elected to Parliament. 8th time lucky, finally being elected to Parliament. 8th time lucky, finally being elected to Parliament. 8th time lucky, finally being elected to Parliament. 8th time lucky, finally being elected to Parliament. 8th time lucky, finally being elected to Parliament. 8th time lucky, finally being elected to Parliament. 8th time lucky, finally being elected to Parliament. 8th time lucky, finally being elected to Parliament. 8th time lucky, finally being elected to Parliament. 8th time lucky, fin
The stakes are high. Farage has assembled his most trusted team around him to try to capture this seat.
Lovely.
They include this man, George Jones, a veteran of UKIP and the Brexit Party, now running events for Farage. Mr. Jones tells our undercover investigator why they chose Clacton.
Shall we look around? Proper England.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Proper English. It's not like in London.
At the moment in the UK, there's a black woman being charged for hate speech for calling Sunak a coconut. Meanwhile, this guy's free to go around saying the P slur. Yeah, because he's white. In the news stories of British institutional racism, police, media, judiciary, Maria Hussein's treatment will form a shocking chapter. Wait, she's not... Is she black or is she Indian herself? The sight of a 6 months pregnant Marehia and being locked in a glass encagement for political satire shames Britain. Bro, what? Bro, she's literally, I think she might be Pakistani. Like, it's like saying that like a black person is being racist for calling another black person like a right-wing black person, like Candace Owens' Uncle Tom or something. Like, that's insane. It's like getting mad at a white guy for saying cracker. Oh, wait. Never mind. I know what coconut means, bro. Yes, I know. She's saying Rishi Sunak and what is the Braverman? Right? That's her name, right? Suella are brown on the outside, white on the inside. They also arrested the people protesting her arrest last night for calling it satire, and the police bagged the coconuts they brought with them. Yeah, Cruella Braverman. Brawny new Nepo baby. Yeah, okay, listen. That's the goat's son you're talking about, okay? And I'm not going to talk shit on him. Yes, the GOAT's son is arriving in Los Angeles. LeBron James and Bronny James are now teammates. Yes, that's right. I think that ultimately Lolo failed you. No. Where's my Trump kicks, dude? He was literally a baby with him on his rookie year, and now he's a player with him. Nuts. Could have been you. Yes, if only I was LeBron's biological son, then yes, it could be me. Hate to see someone else living your dream. I know. I agree. But honestly, here's my cold take, I guess. But like, it kind of sucks. I saw Doc Rivers' son, Austin Rivers, talking about this. And like, Austin Rivers, he had he had like significantly better prospects than Bronny did. And his dad was a coach and not a player at that time. LeBron James, on the other hand, is a still active player, and Bronny did not put Austin Rivers numbers at all. Like, from what I understand, like, he's just not very good. He's nowhere near as good. His height was a lie. He's too small. And he's just not that good. He's not that good of a defensive player. He's not like filling a role. Yo, read my piece on stream and chat with me for a couple minutes before we watch someone die mid-sentence on the stream at the debate. Yeah. It's a handcuff contract. You get Bronny, you get LeBron. Austin Rivers was overrated. Look, I'm not like the biggest basketball fan, and I admit I am a little biased, because his brother Jeremiah is a good friend of mine. But as far as I understand, he is better than Bronny. He is better than Bronny. That's it. Can you even dribble? Don't speak on Legault's son like that. No, of course he has 12 years of experience. Of course he's better. If he wasn't, I'd be concerned. Wait, what? Don't get me started on Austin. Certified Rivers hater, so Austin gets it too. Sorry. Austin Rivers was in the league for 12 years in the league. Wait. I'm talking about when he was drafted. We're talking about at the time of him getting drafted, there were nepotism allegations towards him as well. But he was a much better prospect than LeBron James's son, Bronny. If Bronny ends up being a good player, it's an all-time story. Dude literally had a heart attack last year and now gets to play with his dad, who is the GOAT basketball player. I agree. It is kind of wild how many superstars have actually come from former basketball players too, like Steph Curry. Like, So many of the top NBA talent directly come from former players, like former NBA players. And you don't ever hear about that for the most part. Yeah, Kobe is the son. Yeah, Kobe's the son of an NBA player. So like, obviously, I talk about the lack of nepotism, or the closest that you can arrive at meritocracy is the NBA in professional sports, and that is true. And I think ultimately, yeah, they usually come from solid players, not superstars. I think that you're right about that. I think what ends up happening is you have a solid player, okay? You have a solid player, and their son becomes a superstar. But if you are a superstar, your son doesn't become a superstar, nor even a solid player. Michael Jordan's children. And I don't know if it like skips a generation, or I don't know what it is. But like Bronny had literally the greatest access to coaching, medicine, fitness, like since birth. If you ultimately could like cook this shit up in a lab, you got the GOAT, and then you got the GOAT's son. The expectation is that he's going to be a GOAT too. And yet his father is, 6'9", 6'8", and his son turned out to be 6'1". Unless he goes through like a second growth spurt, like this shit is locked in kind of. He's in this like weird size. I don't know. Leg lengthening surgery, it doesn't matter. We need more research. The mother matters, dog. I know. Wait, who was the NBA player who like is dating and married to a WNBA player? That's some Chinese style laboratory shit. You know what I mean? They're trying to make the next Yao Ming come out of America this time. Basketball as a sport is crippled by the fact that you need to be a mutant that's 7 feet tall to even be considered a professional. Another reason why hockey is the GOAT. What the fuck? That is precisely the reason why basketball is incredible. Dude, come on. Y'all going down a dangerous Rush Limbaugh path? Be careful. Wait, what? No, it is access. You're absolutely right. But like Bronny literally had the access. He had everything. It's the access. Oh, just a joke. The genetics convo. Yeah, like he had everything. He has the GOAT's genes, which I wish I had every day of my life. Okay, and on top of that, he had like the absolute best coaching. Like access to the absolute best coaching. Everything. Oh, I am streaming the debate.
When you're a foreigner in your own country.
I'm done with this shit, bro. F the UK. Let's get to we'll do the John Oliver thing later. Seriously, I don't want to talk about the UK. I don't want to talk about the UK so much. I don't want to talk about the UK so much that we literally had a sidestep convo about LeBron James and Bronny getting drafted.